Hello, everybody. Welcome back to Pickleball U, episode number 10, the number one collegiate podcast in the world, because we're still the only one going 3 months strong or however long it is, but we're still number one. Let's go, boys. I'm Marta. Go ahead.
I want to say something about this. So we are insider trading right now, right? We are
Low-key?
nominated for the Dink Awards.
Oh, we got the nomination? We got the nod already?
We are nominated for the Dink Awards for Best Collegiate Pickleball Podcast.
That's Thank awesome. God we know Thomas.
So everybody who watches the first 10 seconds of this podcast, go vote for us, because if this thing makes it, it's going to be the greatest party in the history.
Bro, if we win anything, dude, that'd be the funniest thing.
So we're nominated to make the list for awards. It's not we're nominated and can get the award. We're in the qualifier round right now. And we're up against Collegiate Pickleball podcast, but we're kind of in the same grouping with the big boys too. Yeah. So we need all the help we can get.
And then some.
If you're watching this, be prepared. You're probably going to get a text message from us too, just begging for votes. And we'll give away free stuff. We don't care. We got stickers and everything.
Yeah, free stuff. People still are not taking us up. People are still not taking us up on the free stuff. Timber, nobody DMs.
Listen, you're dealing with college kids. Timber, did you ever think that we would be nominated on a nationwide basis for this?
Well, I really feel like 6 weeks ago when I joined, I felt like that's probably when we get nominated. Before that, no.
Wow.
A little bit of a humble nation here from Timber.
Yeah, what does that say about us?
No, you needed another leg of the stool. A two-legged stool is worthless. You needed a three-legged stool.
I've never seen a two-legged stool, but it would be worthless.
Exactly. Well, that's why they don't make them, because they're worthless. But a three-legged stool, perfect.
I feel like when we release all this merch, we just need to release Timberisms on
just
shirts.
Two-legged stool.
That would, yeah. Hey, check out this two-legged stool. But the third leg is just a picture of Timber holding up the stool. Would be incredible.
That's amazing.
Yeah, so listen, vote for us. I don't know where or how yet, but I'm releasing it.
Hey,
leaked.
Some people are listening, because I got, I think, 2 or maybe even 3 texts last week giving me crap about being a bus driver. So somebody's watching.
That's incredible. I can't wait for this bus.
That's It's gonna happen, everybody. It's gonna happen. Well, for our loyal viewers that we'd like to say, all 10 of you, we appreciate you. But yeah, there are no results this week, so this episode's gonna look a little different. We're going to deep dive into basically all of college pickleball in terms of rules, eligibilities, just how they started, all of that. We'll bring on an actual coach, because Timber's not a coach. He's a general manager.
Bus driver.
And laundry connoisseur.
Hey, something just popped up, though. I have breaking news. Do you want breaking news?
Of course,
break it. Oh my God!
It may not be breaking news by the time this comes out, but as of right now, Duper College Pickleball Tour has announced where their national championships are going to be this year.
Wait, officially, or are you going to get in trouble?
Where is it?
I was not told I couldn't tell this.
No, they don't care. They love us. Where is it?
Lifetime in Peachtree, Georgia again.
Yeah, let's go.
Oh, I like that. Oh, that's right next to you, Tab. Oh, huh? That's pretty close to you. That's a little hefty.
Yeah. So let's do it. All right. We're going to have a booth. Official breaking news right after breaking news. Pickleball U is going to have a booth at Duper Nationals. Let's go.
Well, and
what was it? That's so good.
The downside of that place freaking awesome. But the downside of that place, the 2 years it's been there, they've had rain problems both times, and not all the courts are indoor. But they're trying.
Not with Pickleball U though.
They're trying to secure a venue close by in case they need to move it indoors.
Oh, but, I got that.
Okay, well, you should talk to Jacob.
I know a closed venue, lifetime.
Yeah, there's another lifetime, but like there's a whole bunch of cool stuff in Atlanta, man. So that's awesome, man. So nationals for let's see. So we have nationals for NCPA is in St. Louis.
The Arch in St. Louis.
Yep.
Nationals for APP is in
Cape Coral.
And then
Cape
Atlanta.
Yeah.
And for Duper. That's awesome, man. So we could definitely
but they really do need an indoor. Duper's had so much trouble, bad luck with rain. So I was talking to Jacob today, and he told me that 2 weeks ago when they were in Mesa, Arizona, they had rain in Mesa, Arizona.
No way.
I told Jacob, I said, you could make a lot of money going to drought-stricken areas and scheduling pickleball tournaments.
I mean, so like, college pickleball is not the most profitable registration wise. Right. So like they're not
at all.
Some of the sponsors and stuff like that do carry a lot of the cost, but like indoor venues are not cheap. Not cheap at all. No. Yeah, so that's cool. So Atlanta's going to host, and that'll be a well-attended one. Good airport, good venue, lots of hotels.
They've been there. That'll be a fun one. They've been there twice before, so everybody kind of is familiar. And then, of course, that center court area, that sunken-in center court, freaking awesome.
Is that the same place MLP goes?
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Oh, can't wait.
No, it's dope.
Can't wait. Yep. All right, so Pickleball U going to another nationals.
I know the spot. I know, right? We're gonna be overlooking those two center courts. So you look down on those center courts. I got the spot for our booth already.
Perfect.
It's also right like next to the White Claw booth. So let's go.
Alrighty, I'm in.
Yeah. Oh, here we go. Oh God. Here we go. Like we're gonna have to shotgun in September.
Shotgun contest. First 5 people there. Shotgun contest.
No, so that's cool. So Jacob's got to be pumped that he landed.
Pickleball U.
That one down.
Yeah.
Yep. Huh?
The Pickleball U is going to his event. That's unbelievable for them.
Pumped. Unbelievable for them.
Yeah, that's just nuts.
And I also know he watches now because he was fact checking me, texting me things I got wrong last week. So.
And look, Martin, he doesn't DM. He's not trying to win the free stuff.
Right?
Well, that's true.
That's crazy.
Well, he's making big duper money. So
yeah,
he didn't get free stuff.
Let's give him some NCPA and APP merch.
So like I'm pretty excited about this episode. Like, not for nothing, I know I'm kind of the guy, I'm really good at reading the run of shows, and like both of you are really ingrained in this sport. I'm having a blast just kind of watching you guys get through it and learning about all this stuff. But like we're going through the production meeting, like I'm fascinated that we get a chance to really kind of show the community about college pickleball and really what these kids, these coaches, these GMs, and these schools are going through right now. Even though like the play is good and some play, things are happening, it's still the wild, wild west. Much more so than pro pickleball. I mean, pro pickleball went through their time, and it feels like
no doubt about
pickleball is going through theirs as well. So I'm pretty excited that we get all the goofiness and things that we do, but we're also going to try and help educate the pickleball populace about what the hell's going on in college pickleball. And I know, Tim, you love this crap.
Well, and we've got Jarrod Smith, from Drury, who is the first. I mean, they had the first varsity program, and I think Jarrod will be a lot of help too, because Jared's background is college tennis, so he's been through the NCAA eligibility wars. He knows that space really well. And Jarrod has a lot of really, really good opinions on where we need to go with eligibility around college pickleball. And when I say good opinions, he mostly agrees with me. So I think they're really good opinions.
That's what I thought. That
means he's on the timber boat.
Yeah,
here.
so he thinks the same thing. Got it.
Yeah, that's fair. Good stuff, man. Yeah, I mean, like, let's get into it, baby. Let's do it.
Let's get into it. Let's start off just going back over who even are the big three in college pickleball. So we got the OG. The first one out there was Duper, who is rebranding as CPT, or the College Pickleball Tour, Collegiate Pickleball Tour. They started way back in 2022. They were the first ones ever. Their first event was a national championship. There was no such thing as regionals. They just brought together 28 teams or somewhere around there. They just brought them together, just messaged schools, yo, do you guys want to play this? They even fully funded, I think, about 10 schools, like their travel. I think UF was one of them. I don't remember paying anything. If I didn't, if that's because I forgot to pay, I'm so sorry. But yeah, no, they were the first ones out there. 2022. They were a little known fact is that Anna Bright was actually like one of the first people to head like the college program in Duper. Like she used to be in the Zoom. Yeah, she used to be in like the Zoom meetings, like the initial Zoom meetings, setting everything up. But then she got too good. And she's like, yeah, I'm a full-time player. I'm getting out of here.
Do we actually have Anna Bright playing college pickleball?
Did she play?
No, she didn't play. She didn't play. She worked for Duper. But yeah, then she dipped. And then we got big boy Ben, who brought in Jarrod, our favorite. Or not Jarrod, what the heck? Jacob. Sorry, Jacob. I'm so sorry. He brought in Jacob, and yeah, like they just exploded. They started 2022, and now it's been 3 years. Ew.
I remember I don't know if you were there with me, Martin, going to the Boca Raton Lifetime where Ben and Jacob were just sunburnt on pieces of paper, handing out anything they could. The college kids had drunk all of the rain energies, and they were just like fighting for their life at this tournament, man. And it was just these two kids,
I remember that,
kind of running around going, making sure. And there was like a really bad live stream happening. Like it was just cameras on a fence, and they were like falling off. It was incredible. And they cared. And I just started kind of working with Duper on a few things, and so it was fun. But the vibe then was still incredible. The college kids could care less about anything other than just playing and cheering for each other. I mean, they were standing on fences, like they were piled in on like the backside, because Boca Lifetime Fitness like isn't really built for tournaments. It's just courts next to each other. So there's people everywhere. It's chaos. And the greatest vibe. I was like, this is going to be so much fun.
Who won?
It's always a good time.
I don't know. I couldn't even keep track. It was like pool play, and there might have been a semis happening at the same time. I remember UF was really UF FSU.
It was UF versus team. And then UM, I think, but
Ava Ignatowicz was there on that team.
There.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. Yeah, I don't know how good the rest of the team were. Might have been buns.
It was there were some tough watches. I mean, I think like Drew Holder was there, and he was playing, and his teammates were all 3.5s.
I love that.
Yeah.
Love that. That's still happening today, which is beautiful to watch.
That's why we have a happy to be here segment.
Yeah, well, after Duper / CPT started, the next one up was the NCPA. They were started up in January 2023. And of the 3 collegiate organizations, they're the only one that's solely college. You got Duper doing a bunch of stuff. They're mainly a rating system. Then you got APP, just the second biggest pro tour. Mm-hmm. And then, but NCPA, they're just college. It's started by our boy Noah. We had earlier on in the year. They started up at the Hub in San Diego. Shout out Ted. But yeah, no, they've also just been going at it super strong these last 2 years, throwing like 10 plus events every year. And yeah, they're going at it. That's one of the 2 or one of the 3. And then we have the APP. We all know that one. They saw everybody else was having fun in the college space. They're like, why can't we do it? So they hopped in about at 2024. They were the last one. But they're trying their best and they're growing. We had Dom earlier on explaining the future of APP college, and it looks pretty exciting.
I mean, Timber, tell me your thoughts. I mean, you're definitely ingrained in it, and you have some pretty, big opinions on some of the tours. But like, what does it mean to have 3 organizations? You look at the college spectrum, right, and in sports in general, it's not like NCAA football has the Big Ten and the SEC and the ACC. These are 3 entities fighting for the same players to be a part of their organization. And it's not NCAA, it's all of them fighting for these sponsorship dollars. Like, do you think that that's helping grow, or do you think that that's really, because they're all doing different things, hurting the growth of college pickleball?
I don't think it hurts. And, one kind of major difference with the analogy is, if you're playing for a Big Ten school, you're not playing also at the same time playing in SEC events. In the college tour, the same teams are playing in all 3 tours. A lot of teams do that. There's only a couple of teams that don't, but most do. Do I think there will be 3 tours always? Probably not. But then there's no rule out there that the 3 of us couldn't go start the American College Pickleball Association, and go do our own thing. I don't want it. No, I absolutely do not want to do that.
Never mind.
Yeah. I mean, I'll start a podcast and shit on it, but I don't want to do it.
Get back here.
I mean, all right, there we go.
There we go. We'll nip the bud.
I think that there's been some talk about different groups coming together here and there, and I think that might happen, at least at a higher level. I'm really proud that I like to think that I'm kind of someone that brings different people together, and I know that 2 people that have been on our group, on our podcast since I started, Noah and Derek. Derek played at one of Noah's events, and I made sure they got to know each other pretty well. Mm-hmm. And now they're going to collaborate on some events. I think Derek's going to run kind of some East Coast events for Noah. And we
got to tag this as the breaking news podcast.
Yeah.
And the connection podcast.
Yeah, absolutely. And that's a great connection, because Derek and Noah both are really strong in different areas. And so together, those guys, they're a threat. I mean, they're really good at what they do. I'm excited about both of them being able, because Noah's really good in front of people, and Derek's really good at
behind people. Whoa.
Yeah. Derek's really good at spreadsheets and organization, and much better than I am at that stuff. So I don't know that we'll always have 3, but I don't think 1 is the right answer either. I don't think we need an NCAA at pickleball. I don't ever want to see the NCAA in pickleball. That's my own personal bias. But
you think that the NCAA, because you're talking about all the bureaucracy and all the red tape and things like that. I mean, I think we're going to get into it a little bit later, but that's why you don't want them. Not because, like, you put NCAA on this thing, that's some serious money back in this.
Yeah,
and there's
big boys.
Yeah, but the NCAA doesn't have any money right now. They're paying it out to everybody else. I just hope it's. I don't think. One of the very first things Jacob ever said to me when I was first getting to know him, when IU started getting involved a couple of years ago, was like, "Do you think this will be a NCAA sport at some point?" And he goes, "God, I hope not."
Yeah.
And I really 100% agree. Well, I don't think that's really the thing. I think it's, we're trying to build something very inclusive. Mm-hmm. And I don't know that the NCAA is about that kind of thing. NCAA is not a bad organization, but it is a member-driven thing, and there's a whole lot of cross goals there. The goals for Ohio State University are very different than Chattanooga State or whatever. And
should they be?
Yeah, because Chattanooga State can't win a national championship.
I just got an offer though.
They're still not winning. So wait a minute. If, shouldn't, at the end of the day, sports is about winning, right? So why shouldn't Chattanooga try and win? I mean, look, we're going to talk to Drury here. They have scholarships. We're going to learn that that's like $3, but like there's scholarship money there. And if NCAA comes in, big money sponsors follow. There's, I guess, because it's a club sport now, but if it was sanctioned, then you start getting into NIL money. Then you're starting to talk about boosters. Now you're talking about real trajectory of people having choices. So you can go to college, play pickleball, earn a living, and further your personal life. If you're that C tier pro, you're going to have a few choices. I mean,
But why do you need the NCAA for any of that? NCAA has a process for NIL. Well,
you
so
need it
do
for
we.
the legitimacy of
Nah.
Duper, right?
Nah.
I love Duper, right? I love I don't say I love them, but like the ABP is an organization. You have these different entities, but they're all like when you go to these boosters, these big time people, they're not looking at them seriously for collegiate sports. They're looking at NCAA, going, NCAA walks in the room, you got that logo right there. That means something. So
you might be right, but I'm not convinced you are, because I think it's easier without the NCAA to have the money involved and to get okay, the minute you bring the NCAA in, you're probably not getting Budweiser as a sponsor, because I don't think they do alcohol sponsorships. The rule. I spent a little time working in athletics at Indiana. I was very low level. I was basically a mentor and a tutor, but I still had to go through the NCAA eligibility stuff, take the test and all that. It's just, and it's this way for a reason, because you're talking millions and billions of dollars.
Yeah.
That I don't think we need it for. Pickleball's never going to be a television sport. I mean, there's a whole lot. Most NCAA sports don't make money.
Yeah.
They exist. They exist because football and basketball pay the bills, mostly football. But and I've said this before. No one loves pickleball more than me. I have so many friends that play on television. Still, even when my friends are playing on TV, I can watch about a half hour, and then I'm like, I got to go do something else. It's not that interesting. It's not a great TV sport. It's a great live sport. It's a great participatory sport. It's not a great. It's kind of like soccer. Soccer's not.
You don't love it enough, man. You don't love it enough. I got 10 tabs open every PPA.
I literally am watching minor league pickleball nationals on the TV in front of me right now. But listen. So, but you have on the other side, the Kitchen just reported it, right? $1.6 million investment from the University of Alabama into a pickleball complex. I don't think they're building a stadium or like any seating around there. It's literally just a leisure activity for them. If Alabama's spending 1.6, right? And then they're spending, 1.2 billion on the football stadium. That's because NCAA is attached to that, right? And they know they have that security and all those things, and obviously the revenues, whatever. But
a whole lot more people are going to watch Alabama football than are going to watch Alabama.
Well, they're going to buy shirts. I'm not saying spend $1 billion, but do you think that goes from 1 million to maybe, we could put a little something together because we can host better events, we can pull in bigger sponsors, we can do different types of activations now that we can't do because honestly, you talk about some of those sports. I remember, bowling. Who's going to watch bowling college, right? But because of the pickleball community, you're going to have people going to watch pickleball and follow the team and things like that. I mean, that's kind of half our goal here is to generate more knowledge around college pickleball.
Yep.
Well, and I think again though, Alabama is a great example. That Alabama facility. Is more about participation. When Alabama football goes and adds $1 billion for their stadium, that's not so a bunch of college kids can go play football on the field on Tuesday. What's that?
Breaking news. No, it's not breaking news. But we do have somebody that has a lot to say right now.
Bring him in.
And wants to speak his truth. We got the head coach of Drury University, Jarrod Smith.
Bring him in.
Here we go. Yeah, look at that smile, buddy. You know what type of shenanigans you got yourself into?
We were just waiting for the right moment.
Anytime Timber says, hey, we need to hear your voice, I'm like, well, okay, here we go.
Are you?
That's amazing.
So first things first, we need you to make sure that when the Dink Awards come out, you vote for Pickleball U. That's important to us.
That's done deal.
I have so many questions. I know you know Timber and you guys are friends and stuff, but is it crazy to be on a college pickleball podcast right now?
Yeah, I mean, gosh, I started playing about a decade ago, and with whatever kind of paddle and to see where it's gotten so grand and it's unbelievable. Yeah.
You started playing about a decade ago. So did I. Where did you start playing at?
Right here at Drury. I mean, my story is like a lot of people. Some friends said, "Hey, come play this." And as a tennis guy, I'm like, "Well, I'm not playing any sort of stupid sport named after a fruit or a vegetable or whatever it is." And they ask enough times, and you go out there and you're like, "Oh no, this is great.
This is good.
This is fantastic." So then I was lucky. I played the pro tour for a while and did things, and then I got old and said, "Well, I'm a college coach. I better start up some pickleball." So here we are.
So you played a little pro pickle?
Yeah.
Where
back
in
the early days, I played with Dylan a lot. I played with Jay DeVilliers. I played with all the old guys who are still there now. That was when we were all starting. And
what would you say your most notable win is?
I was good before they knew how to play.
What tournament would you say was your best win at?
Dylan and I won the world championship 2019-ish or something like that. And then I won nationals in 2021. That was 35 and over. And then I won the pro indoor that year, mixed doubles. So,
okay.
So, yeah.
Let's go.
Yeah.
All right. And so, do you think that translated into being able to coach a college pickleball team?
Yeah, I mean, I was the tennis coach here for 20 years, and just kind of like I said, my passion became pickleball more and more and more. And when you're a coach, and you got to learn some new things and some new tricks and some new deliveries. But coaching's in the blood, and I mean, I'm so blessed every day to get to do what I do and just enjoy it so much and meet yahoos like Timber and all the other people out there as you're traveling around. And it's a blessing for sure.
That's cool stuff, man. All right. So we want to talk about the college side, right? And we want to get your take on the college space. You guys you were first to market and made the first splash, I would say, in college pickleball by handing out scholarships, right? I want to know behind the scenes what that was like, getting to that decision to do that.
Well, I think a lot of people have been trying to do it for a long time, but I'm sure a lot of people have stories about, hey, we went to the administration, and for years the administration's like, well, first of all, we don't know what pickleball is. Second of all, there's no other teams. Third of all, there's no facility. It just doesn't work, right? And I was just lucky enough to be here where I said, look, I'm gonna move from tennis. I said, I will be the coach. I'll raise the money to build the facility, legitimize this, make us a varsity sport. And they're really excited about it. So I basically said, hey, just say yes. I said, I'll take care of everything. Just say yes. And just kind of wanted to be the first in the space. That was kind of, I think, my dream. But just to be a resource, I talked to lots and lots of universities like, how do you do this? Because we're just different. While we're not NCAA, we actually have to follow the rules and ramifications of a lot of the NCAA rules here. We are a varsity sport, so we have the same privileges and the same, but we do have a lot of more parameters than a club would have, I guess you'd say, because we do have to follow the rules. But it's just legitimizing the sport and saying, well, Drury did it. How can we do it? How can the next school? How can I be a resource to help everybody do the same thing? Where we do move into a space where it's I'd love to see it where we love having the clubs, but I would love to see it where this is the same as basketball. This is the same as soccer, same as football, and get to that space. And I think I'm hoping that the domino effect will come in real soon.
So are you so do you believe that NCAA coming into the sport will be would be a good thing?
No, I have always been very, and again, I was part of the NCAA for 20 years, and it's a great organization, but I don't think anybody's looking around at, man, the NCAA is really great right now. Things are just swimming real smooth. I mean, people are leaving, people are trying to pull out. And the question is, I will tell you this very honestly, my team went to the tennis national championships basically every year. The tournaments that are being put on in pickleball right now are so much grander than the NCAA tournaments, like so much bigger, like so much better. It is one of those things. Like when I was listening to your conversation, I do want to say this again. I'm not bashing the NCAA, but ask me over 20 years what the NCAA did for my tennis team. I mean, we weren't really high on the pecking order. I mean, we're not basketball, we're not football. And you're saying the NCAA, well, the NCAA is not going to come in and say, oh, pickleball, here, let's make you guys better. No, none of the satellite programs are like that. You know, if you go to talk to any college coach, they're not going to be like, oh, yeah, they do so much for us. They put on a championship, but like, again, so can any entity. So can Duper, so can APP.
Well, they all do. We talk about that too.
So the question is, and this is a very serious, what in 2025, I mean, I'll bet the NCAA is not shouting out Drury Pickleball up on their social media. I'll bet they're not like, what are they actually going to do for the sport on the totem pole of where is pickleball going to fall? It's not going to be.
I look at it, so in the conversation here with Timber, right, is, and I'm going to defend my spot here, is not what they can actually do, it's what it represents. The hardest thing, so I love that you've been doing it as long as me, man. The hardest thing in the world for this sport is to be legit. Like you said, it's called pickleball. First off, name, right? Cool. We get cooked. Everybody's laughing at us anyway. It's a hard, you have to be in it to understand it, to watch it on TV, right? But what I've seen in this college space is it's attracting a new audience. Like the demographic has gotten younger by like a decade at a time. It was 70s, 60s, 50s. You're in that 30-year-old market right now, which is prime audience. Just having the logo, right, on there. Some of those sponsors, they want to come in. Some of those sponsors, they want that security and they like that logo.
But what sponsors are coming into like big sponsors are going to come into the pickleball space? The thing is, this is a very honest question. Who's going to do it better? Let's say all these entities, you got Duper, you got APP, you got NCAA, whatever. It's I'm not saying it's a battle, but let's say at some point it all got unified. Are you telling me that entity that is only pickleball, it's all it does, is going to be worse than the NCAA, who is pickleball is not going to be a priority at all? I don't think so at all. I think
you host the Big Ten championship in football.
What's that?
The Big Ten does, right? The Big Ten does the Big Ten championship, right?
Yeah, right.
I think it's the same thing. I think there's one organization, but you have the NCAA on there to make it a legit college sport, and the entity of college pickleball works it.
But I just don't see it that way at all. I don't think in 2025, again, it's social media. It's getting on. It's not like the NCAA. Are you telling me the NCAA is going to get out and like live stream? I tell you, we never had live streaming at the championships. There was one court out of the 24 being played. Last week we're at the Duper thing. Every single court is being live streamed out there. Like every court.
You're hopping into my this is our business, 8 people watching the pickleball. I get it. I understand that the red tape and like things like that. What I just believe that there's legitimacy it could add. Whether it's adding that legitimacy comes with some negatives, I get it. But like that thing, that's what we've all the Pro Tour. There's one Pro Tour right now. I mean, they've just landed more significant stuff because they've legitimized. I mean, their operational stuff is insane compared to the other tour, and they made it legit.
They earned it.
I want to see college get there. I just know that it's going to take a lot of money. It takes a lot of money.
But I hear you. But again, I'm telling you today, it's grander than the NCAA stuff today. And it's absolutely in its infancy. I couldn't agree more on that. It's like it's going to get bigger and bigger. I hear what you're saying. Being around it, having seen it, going through the red tape, going through all the issues and all the certificate, all that goes into it. I'm telling you, the best thing I ever did was take that NCAA rule book and throw it in the trash. I mean, it was one of the best days of my life. I think it's so true. Is how do you be? And ask me in 10 years, maybe I have a different opinion. But I think right now the ability to grow the sport organically through this conversation right here and through the entities that are doing it right now, and kind of this, I don't want to sound like this, we don't know what we're doing, but we sure are having an adventure.
We sure don't know what we're doing.
You know what I mean? Like I think the player experience is unbelievable right now for these kids. And everybody's trying to do their best. Everybody's trying to grow it. I don't think the NCAA would have that stance of let's try to make this the biggest and best it could be. I think the entities that are doing it right now are the ones who are pushing the sport forward and brilliantly. Your Noahs, your Jacobs, all these guys who are, all these roundtables, all these discussions. The NCAA comes in. There's no roundtable discussions. There's no thought process that we're here. This is what it's going to be. Let me throw this at you too. The NCAA does not deal in co-ed sports.
I dealt with that in high school. I try to get high school stuff going. It's so hard to get it sanctioned because it's a co-ed sport.
And I argue mixed doubles is a big part of this sport, and the kids love mixed doubles.
Yeah. Massive.
Now again,
massive part.
You get rid of it, and 10 years down the line, maybe they don't care. But you've got to have men's pickleball and women's pickleball at that point in time, and I think that throws a huge dynamic out of the just amazing individuality of our sport and how cool that is. And watching those kids grow as men and women together is outstanding. We just had our formal event last night. I made them put on suits, dresses. We went out. We had a little homecoming type of thing. And
you got to send us pictures of that.
Oh, I've got pictures. Yeah.
You got to send us that stuff. We'll put it up.
Watching them interact is incredible. And I would not like to get rid of that aspect of it.
I mean, listen, I'm a big softie too. I talk about the community and everything that goes around. So are you appreciative of the fact that there are 3 entities all vying for your business right now?
Yeah.
You think that's better, or should it just be one?
I do. I think they're pushing each other, right? Competition, iron sharpens iron. I mean, they're coming out there. We got to be bigger. We got to be better. I would love to see, like I said, some sort of alliance. So we know how that goes in football, but something to bring everybody together to say, you know what, we're going to have an overreaching set of standards though, or rules where, look, you can all keep your individual events, you can keep your scoring systems, you can do whatever you want, but to have some sort of, I think standard is probably the right word of what we're all trying to do.
Well, that was going to be, kind of what most interested me, besides the fact that you don't like my NCAA take, is
let's be clear. They won me over, no one likes your NCAA take.
No one does. That's okay. I've been there, done that. I've been right plenty of times in my life. But how hard is it to navigate all of the different things? I mean, you're on different softwares. You have to prepare your team for different formats. There's different rules and eligibility. Is it one of the reasons that justifies having a head coach of a pickleball team?
I think so. I talk to a lot of the kids on the other teams, or my kids talk to them, and they're like, well, what do you guys do? How do you travel? We don't do anything. Coach takes care of it. We show up and he takes care of it. We go and he does the paperwork, and they're like, that's unbelievable. You don't have to book flights. You don't have to. No, coach does it all. And I think it's easy because sometimes I'm frustrated. I mean, sometimes I'm sitting here with do this, do that. And it's the easiest thing for us is, again, because we have eligibility requirements of our own.
Yeah.
Nothing we have to figure it out. It's already done. But it's still, all these steps it's so much harder. That's the one quip I would have. It's so much harder to sign up for a pickleball tournament because everyone has a different system to use, a different way to sign up. I just want to be like, hey, we'll be there. and here's some money and away we go. Here's the entry fee. But it is very difficult getting signed up.
Maybe we should just start our own and just make it free for all types.
Yeah,
stuff.
I mean it's
super easy.
So
if you go ahead, Timber.
I was just going to say, kind of to Jarrod's point, there is some conversations happening, very, very preliminary conversations about how some of these tours can come together, still maintaining their independence, but maybe operating under a common set of rules. And so kind of like the NCAA with not the baggage of NCAA.
So are you a better recruiter than Timber?
Oh gosh, we just live in two different worlds. I think we've got this small little school of 1,500 kids, and Timber has probably that many in his club alone, I would think. But it's just a different set of. I mean, we're starting to get some international interest and things like that. Where we've got a kid on the team from Poland, we got a girl from Slovakia. We're getting, a lot of the recruiting I do is, yeah. So there's a lot of the things that they're starting to get. And I was talking to a young man from Latvia today, and you think, from what I hear, and my great friend Andy Ginch, who Timber talked to him last weekend, but and he's traveling with Ben and Colin now, and he's in Asia, and he's like, Jarrod, he's like, in a couple years that they're going to be kicking our butt so bad. He said the things that we're building over here for them just dwarf everything in the United States. And I think about those videos you've seen of the ping pong kids where it's like 50 ping pong and they're all just sitting there going like this. And I kind of envision that over there where they're just going to have their kids and they're going to be just training them up. And but I think they're very serious over there. And I've talking to kids from Vietnam and places like that to see just what's going on over there. And I think the opportunities that have come as a tennis coach. I mean, 95% of my team was always international from all over the world. Yep. And I think now people are starting to sniff around to be like, well, is this an opportunity where here I am in China and I can go to the United States, get an education, play pickleball. And I could see this very soon becoming a very international game in the college ranks too. And I think that's happening at other schools too. That's not just here.
Yeah, well, we saw the international college, team at Worlds this year, right? So definitely that big push. What most excites you about college pickleball?
I think I go back to this. I think it is the fact right now that we are growing this game to be inclusive. I think Timber makes an unbelievable point there. To be inclusive, to not be just this, hey, we've got 6 kids on the team, but to say, no, we can have more. You want to play the game? Let's play the game. I've always been a big advocate. Pickleball, it's a wiffle ball. It's a big old ping pong paddle. Make it fun for everybody. Make it inclusive. I think there needs to be a lot more growth, and I hope there is, not just for your best players in college pickleball, but can we grow this to where you're taking a whole lot more kids and they're able to play and compete? Because I think what's exciting is everybody can do it. Not everybody can play basketball. Not everybody can play football or really any sport. But how many kids, I mean, out here, we call it the Panther Pad, our courts, you come out here, I know that person has never played pickleball before, but they're having the absolute time of their life learning how to do it.
Every time I watch David, yeah.
There you go. But I think
I have beat a signed PPA player, though.
Yeah. And the ability to grow it how we want. I think that is the most exciting part.
So you like the fact that, the tour stops have, Utah Tech 1 and North Carolina, University of North Carolina 4 and 3 and 2 and 1, and they can bring, 5-6 teams to events, and compete. You like that type of atmosphere where, if you got 20 people, you got 5 teams, let's go.
Yeah, no, I do it as long as I think pretty soon. I think really soon we're getting to a point where that's not going to be possible. You might be able to bring 1 team or 2 teams because I think the growth is going to come really quickly. But what I would like to see, this is a different topic, but I'd love to see your normal tournaments where you got 3-0, 3-5, 4-0, where you've just got college kids going and playing that because your 3-0 kid doesn't want to go get waxed by the 5-0 kid, nor does the 5-0 kid want to be waxing the 3-0 kid. So can we have tournaments where more people are participating?
So you're saying a college amateur tournament next to the team tournament?
Yeah, I don't think it needs to be the same venue. I don't think it needs to be the same place. It can be a different time, a different location. I think that if you can certainly in this sport have, here's your elite, here's your best of the best college players, and then over in this city, here's your kids who love to play, who are trying to get better, and
here's your Davids.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I definitely want to keep, like, Martin lost bad to Colin Schick a couple of times, so you definitely have to prevent that stuff.
Somebody put that as what our post for best college rivalries. They swiped up. They said Colin Schick versus Martin.
Martin played for UF.
And then the other good one was Mile Kreutzer versus graduating. Our boys like
4 miles versus graduating.
7 years in school.
So kind of the first steps we're seeing, and what Jarrod's talking about, is Duper Nationals. So in their top 64 team field, they try to do it kind of like basketball. Kind of to Jarrod's point when he was talking about the different levels, Duper is starting to do that at their national event. So their top bracket, everybody can send one team. So you got to earn a bid, but there's 64 bids. But if you have a team in that top bracket, they're actually having a second bracket of like 32 teams. I kind of, in my head, I think of it like as the NIT in basketball. So you can send, that'll be a little, still good teams. And then this year, they're even putting in potentially a Division III bracket. And then aside from that, they still have like side tournaments. If you're not in one of those three, you can still play in a doubles event and things like that. So we're getting there. But to Jarrod's point, we haven't had to worry about that too much because there haven't been that many schools involved. But the days where Purdue is able to send 8 teams might be close to being over, which is kind of sad because in that venue, I mean, Purdue's team 8, when they go to an event, I mean, they're getting their asses kicked by teams 1 through 7 at practice. They have no illusions that they're going to do very well at this tournament, but they're there to have a good time. They're there to be with their friends.
Yeah, they're there for fun.
And they enjoy, I mean, if you're a 3-2 player and you get stuck in a pool with, Utah Tech, there is something, I mean, you're going to get your ass kicked, but there is something kind of fun about measuring up against some of the best players in the world.
Does it make you mad, Jarrod, at how good Utah Tech is all the time?
No, I think it's great. I mean,
you do?
Yeah, I mean, they've got something special going there, and I mean, I think it's important to have your Goliath out there. I think they move the sport forward. I think it's fantastic. But I think to this point, I think a lot of what we're trying to say. I mean, I'll give you an example. We had a dual match. With the University of Arkansas, so you have more players. Well, before the match, they came early, and we brought out Special Olympics, right? So both teams are out there playing with Special Olympics. Then we played the match. Then after the match, they stuck around in the pavilion. We grilled out. We all ate together. That is such an impressive part of it, because there's no other sport where you're doing that kind of stuff. You know what I mean? And so getting all these people involved, it's not just about game day. It's not me versus you. I don't think there's many sports that have what we have.
We raise over the course of my career, I've raised hundreds of thousands of dollars for nonprofits. I've taught thousands of people how to play. I get the community side. And I mean, it's a huge part of who we are. Like, we have events where we raise food and toys and everything. We do all of that. And I can't tell you how much I appreciate hearing that story, right? But is that college if that's the identity of college pickleball, right? Shouldn't the entities also be doing that? Or is that something that you choose to do as a college, but at the end, it's who is the best college pickleball team, right? And it's a competitive nature of sports. And building into that versus, you could still do those other things, but when you're at these tournaments, it's who's the best, not necessarily who's the best at community.
Well, I think the point there was not, it's just inclusive. But what I'm saying, what I would like to see the sport become a lot more of, and I think Noah tried to take a really good first step with this, is more dual matches. is not going to tournaments every weekend, but on this date, Drury is playing against Indiana, right? And you build it like every other sport where you have a regular schedule, and then you get to a postseason, you have a conference championship and a regional championship, and you build it in that way so that it's not just there's certainly a place for the tournaments, but going to tournaments and you're playing all these teams and stuff, I'm not sure you ever I'm not sure we ever get all of the best teams legitimately at the same place at the same time, right?
I mean, like, well, we might. There is that, element, and that's where we have to decide, right? Like, what we're talking about is, what is college pickleball? What is pickleball in general, right? That's, bigger discussions for people way smarter than me. But what frustrates you the most right now in college pickleball?
Boy, I don't have a ton of frustrations, but because I think everybody.
You can spit a ball out. Doesn't have to be just one.
Yeah,
friend.
But no, I think that it's hard to get upset with anything when everybody's working so hard to make the sport better. Like it's again, there's no formula right now. So all of these discussions are really good. I think the most frustrating thing for me, and this goes back to the topic of when you talk about, can schools do what we did? Can schools legitimize? That's going to be really hard for bigger schools, quite honestly. I actually see the growth coming at the smaller schools because we do have what we call these non-NCAA wings of athletics, where we actually have 9 or 10 sports here at Drury who do not fall under the NCAA, but are varsity sports. And a lot of Division II, Division III institutions have that. Division I doesn't really do that, Right. And I think that's going to be the problem of, if NCAA gets involved, if that happens at Division I level, it's the chicken and the egg, right? The NCAA is going to say, well, there are no teams. How can we have this sport? And the teams are going to say it's not represented by the NCAA. How can we have this sport? So I think you've got a dynamic there that I don't know how it goes, or if it can get to a point where it legitimizes at the bigger schools without the NCAA. And that takes institutional coming in, or you never know, the dynamic of the NCAA in the next 5 years might change a whole lot to see what happens there. So, but I do think, and I just got off with a school in West Virginia who says they have board approval to also legitimize and be a varsity sport. So it's just, I think it's the timetable. How long is this going to take? And because we don't want to be on this island alone forever, we want everybody to do.
What is the difference between a varsity sport and a club sport?
So varsity sports, this is my full-time job. I am the coach. This is what I do. We have operational budgets set by the institution. We have scholarship budgets. We have to follow, like I said, a set of standards and rules that the institution puts forward. Whereas a club, and a lot of them are lucky who do have some people leading them, but typically it's run by the students, right? And the students are running it. They're hoping that maybe their student government gives them some money. They don't really have scholarship opportunities. They don't have anything like that. So like we have, if we go to the varsity weight room, for instance, it's all these details that I think a lot of people say, but you're not NCAA. That's not what makes you a varsity sport. It's being run operationally the same as every other sport at your institution.
So maybe that's the goal, right? Not NCAA.
I think
to make it all varsity.
Yeah, to make it all varsity. And at that point in time, we operate the same as an NCAA sport. We just don't answer to the NCAA.
Oh, right. Okay.
And so, David, kind of one point to make, because obviously I come very much from the club side, because nobody pays me to do what I do. But I tell the Drury kids all the time, my goal is to become the Drury equipment manager. But the difference is, one big difference, it's not just that club sports doesn't have those professionals, doing those things. It's that club sports is designed not to have. I mean, I sometimes get dinged a little bit at IU for doing too much as a volunteer, because the kids are supposed to be doing this. The problem with that is pickleball has gotten so big and there's so much money involved. 19-year-old Joey shouldn't be, who's trying to also go to class, isn't really equipped to do that. And the vast majority of the schools that aren't varsity and don't have, quote, adult leadership are out there just trying to figure it out on their own. And that's when you talk about the Wild West, that's really what I think about. So yeah, I would love to see more organization. I'd see it. We won a couple of individual national championships 2 summers ago, and I had a big head, and I walked right into the athletic department and said, "Why aren't we doing this?" I mean, Jarrod, you probably remember when IU women's tennis started, they won a national championship in the early 70s, but it wasn't NCAA. It was just it was the AIW something or other, because I've seen the banner. Why can't we do that? And what IU said was, we're not looking to add sports. We're looking to subtract sports. And the other thing they said that I thought was really interesting, kind of, David, to the point you made earlier, one of them said to me, the only way we would ever do this is if it was a women's sport, for Title IX reasons. Maybe we would consider a women's pickleball program, but certainly not a co-ed one, because it doesn't help Title IX.
I think that's an unbelievable point you just made. Title IX can thrash a whole lot of things. And Title IX is base. I get it. I understand it. But there's a whole lot of sports who now operate only with women and not with men for that exact reason.
Yeah.
And then you get into, well, you can't even have the mixed. I mean, because you don't even have another team to do it. So I think there's so many ways to stay out of that.
Women make up such a small percentage of our competitive sport anyway. It's like half of what men are. We deal with it all the time. Yeah. So a couple more questions, man, and I'll let you go. And these are a little bit tougher, right? Is do you have a bus?
Do I have a bus?
Yeah.
No.
Okay. I mean, that's a knock against you.
We have a fleet of vans. So we like the vans. Yeah.
The 14 passenger vans.
Yeah.
Do you drive the van?
Yeah.
Is it obnoxious with the kids?
I've been doing it for 20 years. That's the best time you'll ever have, is in those vans. You get to know each other real well.
Have you ever been on Timber's bus?
I've never been invited. Was that an option? Was that?
Hey, it was parked right next to your vans in Kansas.
Yeah, and you were probably laughing. Yeah.
That's incredible, man. All right. Definitely appreciate your time. Is there anything you want to share? Like, hey, the message that you want to get across or anything like that, man? I mean, we get hundreds of views on this stuff. So
yeah, no, I just want to say if you are, because people are always looking, I get a lot of calls and messages. If you're looking for a resource, if you're looking for ideas of how to build a program or anything like that, that's what I'm here for. And that's what I hope we're all moving in the same direction. And I think the dialogues, like I said, this conversation is important, that people are seeing this, that everybody's thinking, that everybody's brainstorming, because there's thoughts out there that have not been thought yet. And I think we'd all like to hear them, because there's no direct avenue right now. And I think just the more ideas, and I want to compliment again the graciousness of all of the college tours, because I know Timber's the same way. We talk and they listen, and they care about the student athlete experience as well as building the sport. And I think we're just in such a great place right now. And you guys with all your thoughts and everything, I just appreciate being here.
That's incredible. How can people get in touch with you?
Just go to the Drury University Athletics website. Go up to the sports, find pickleball. Jarrod Smith is my name, and all my contact information's there. And always happy to talk pickleball. Perfect, man. We'll put it in the contact information as well, man. I definitely appreciate your time and everything you're doing to grow the sport. I definitely want to see some pictures of the homecoming. Yeah. And the next stop where you're with Timber, we got to do some stuff on the bus, man. I'm fascinated by this bus. Well, now so am I now. So I'm really looking forward to that. That's awesome, man. Thanks a lot. Appreciate you guys. Thanks. Take care. See you, Jarrod. I'll be expecting my scholarship offer soon. All right. Just go to the website, fill out your questionnaire, and we'll get it done.
Martin, they have academic standards.
All right. So that's a cool interview. Jarrod, good dude, man. I mean, huge heart. You could tell he genuinely cares, man. Yeah. He was ducking and dodging some of those things with just like the community aspect of everything. But great to have people like that in the sport and that are actually helping grow it. Like, it's kind of the general consensus right now, which is, hey, let's grow the sport.
It's
and
fun
that's kind
to
of what
watch
college
him.
is.
It's fun to watch Jarrod with his team too. It's just really, he has this gentle spirit, but you can tell he's a coach.
Yeah.
One of my favorite times, we were all sitting in a tournament together, and a kid showed up. There was some sort of meeting, and a kid showed up late, and the kid said, "Does this mean I have to run laps?" And Jarrod said, "No, this means you get to run laps." And I just love watching him with his players. It's really cool.
That's awesome.
That's a coach's coach.
All right, so we brought him on because of his takes right there. You see how incredibly hard it is for them to deal with eligibility and like format.
Yeah.
Right? I mean,
yep.
Let's get into let's teach the people what the hell these tours are doing.
Let's get into what we actually came here to do after an hour.
I'll drive this one. I'm the bus driver. I'll drive this one. So let's just go across the rows. When we're talking about eligibility, pretty straightforward here. Up until this year, it had always been 6 credits. You're taking 6 credits. Duper moved to 9 credits this year for undergrad. It's still 6 credits for grad. At most schools, 6 grad credits is considered full time, and so Duper made an intermediate step to 9. The other 2 are still at 6. I firmly believe that at least Duper and NCPA are probably going to go to the NCAA standard, which is 12 for undergrad and 6 for grad. So there's no official word on that yet, but I think that's where they're going. And partially that's just becoming, at the beginning it's like we needed players, and now it's more about what does a real student look like? Who's a real student? And there's a lot of talk around that, but just kind of leave it. That's where we are right now. So scoring, Duper has maintained rally scoring to 21. It's the old Major League Pickleball, the way they did it till this year.
The OG.
Yeah. It's still Duper's rally all the way across. I'm starting to come off rally a little bit. I'm always been a fan because I like it as a tournament director, because you kind of know how long a match is going to last. Noah hates rally scoring of any kind. So Noah has side out to 11, just like a normal, like playing on Saturday with your grandma. That works well for him. And Noah is a player's director. He loves the players, and especially the better players tend to like that format best. USAP has made a change.
They're scared of rallies.
Yeah. So APP made a change this year. APP does rally. They do it quite a bit differently. First of all, they only play to 15, which is a really short match. Really short. But the other thing that USAP does that's a little different, in what I call normal rally scoring, I'm sure USAP wouldn't be happy about that, but you pick a side. You're either a left side player, you're a right side player, you never move. You can only move if you want to after timeouts or after games. So USAP, it's a little confusing. You move after every point. Whether you scored, every point there, every time there's a miss hit, there's a point, and you're going to move. So for example, if Martin and I are playing David and Jarrod, and Martin, I start on the right side, he starts on the left side, and David and Jarrod dump the first ball into the net. We haven't even hit a ball yet, but we've scored a point, and we've got to switch sides. In theory, it's a good idea. In practice, it's really confusing. Nobody ever knows where they're supposed to be.
They need a ref for that.
Yeah, doing that on a Saturday afternoon with your grandma would be a mess. So, guys, jump in anytime here. I'm just kind of powering through.
Yeah, man.
The match format.
This. You have to deal with this as a general manager of a team. You're dealing with this stuff, man.
I have this stuff by heart. I mean, you don't need this chart for me. But the match formats, they all do some format of MLP. They don't call it that. In some cases, they can't call it that because they got a cease and desist order.
Who got a cease and desist order from?
NCPA got a cease and desist order because they were calling their tiebreak a dream breaker.
Yeah.
And so they got a cease and desist on that.
Dream breaker, can't use that.
Yeah. Duper is very much like MLP. So your girls doubles go out and play, your men's doubles go out and play. Then you have 2 games of mixed doubles. And if you're tied at 2-2 after that, you have a singles dream breaker. The most exciting thing in pickleball, I think, is the singles dream breaker.
So
they also, though,
unless you're running and you're behind.
Right. I will also point out that they are doing some people don't think this is actual scoring freeze, but they call it a freeze, which is basically you have to serve to score. I hate the freeze. My editorial comment is freezes aren't fair because if I've built a 6-point lead against you and I get to 20 and I'm up 6-14, 20-14, it's twice as easy for you to score a point as it is for me to score a point.
Put it on the poll. Put it on the poll. Put it on the poll.
I don't like it.
Win on your serve or just get to 21.
NCPA,
we got to put that on the poll, man. That's terrible.
Well, we're pulling it.
NCPA, it's a little weird that the NCPA has Noah's a player's manager. He likes to give him as many choices as possible, even though sometimes he shouldn't, but he always gives. So basically, after a coin toss, there's 3 kind of sets of games. There's gender doubles. So there's men's doubles and women's doubles. That's kind of a set. There's mixed doubles. And then they also have 2 singles matches, 1 men's and 1 women's.
Mm-hmm.
So you get to choose those kind of the order depending on the coin toss, but there's potentially 6 games. So there's men's and women's doubles, mixed, and then singles and singles. If it ends up a 3-3 tie, they have their own version of a tiebreaker that they're not allowed to call a dream breaker, but it's not just singles. They rotate through. You have 3 points of women's doubles, then you have 3 points of men's doubles, and it can get a little confusing, but it is very inclusive. I will give him that. And then the AP.
A lot more.
We run a lot of amateur stuff, man, and we always look at that. Like, we make people play singles, and the number one comment we get about dream breakers is, "I never play singles, so I have to in this format." It's like, well, all right. I like the way Noah does it. It's interesting.
It is. I'd like for him to take away some of the choices. I'd like for it to just be more standardized. But of doing it that way, I came into it. I'm brutal to Noah. I'm like, I go into him and I'm like, this is the stupidest thing I've ever heard. You shouldn't do it this way. And he'll listen to me and then he'll ignore me on a lot of things. That's what I did on this tiebreaker, and I was wrong. This tiebreaker's cool.
Listen, we give people the choice when we run minor league pickleball events. You get to choose home or away, and that's it. That's it.
Yeah. Right. And that's the way it is.
Everything else.
That's the way Duper is because they run an MLP format.
Mm-hmm.
APP is a set. They do give them the choice of what you want to do first. You're going to send out women's first. You're going to send out men first, whatever. So it's kind of in the middle between Duper and NCPA. They also do a singles tiebreaker that I assume they can't call a dream breaker.
Mm-hmm.
But so the APP is very, very close to an MLP format this year. They've gotten rid of singles, which I think was a mistake because college kids love to play singles.
They do.
But they do have the singles tiebreaker. It's very, very similar to Duper. The next one is very common, very, very controversial. First of all, what the hell's a pro? If Ben Johns wants to take 6 credit hours or 9 credit hours, if the Kawamoto twins want to go to grad school at IU just down the street from them and take grad hours, they can play for IU. They know this. I've told them this 100 times. NCPA, Noah has changed things a little bit. It used to be no signed pros. That was just his rule, no signed pros. Now he's kind of softened it to where they can't have medaled at a pro tournament. But again, what does that mean? Does that mean challenger? Does that mean, next
gen?
Does that mean next gen? I I think
it better because I would be ineligible.
Yeah, well, there you go.
Well, that's because there's only 2 people in your division. But listen,
last year, go ahead.
So yeah, like that is really the weird one because even the pros can't agree on what actually a pro is.
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, I was teasing one of my girls from Kansas. She's a 3-0 player, and she filled in a couple of games for us in Kansas, and they won first place. So she won $400. And I said, hey, you're a pro now. You've won money playing pickleball. You're a pro.
That's right.
But for Noah, like a great example with Noah is last year versus this year. Last year, Jack Monroe could have played in Noah's event because APP doesn't sign pros.
Yeah.
This year he couldn't because he's medaled at an APP, medaled at many APP tournaments.
Yeah.
Yeah,
and
he's
then
pretty
the
good.
APP, yeah, he's all right. APP, I know he wants to be a great player and good looking like me, but that's what he's striving for. But APP, it says 0 restrictions, but that's APP has 0 restrictions. If you're a PPA signed or a UPA signed pro, they won't allow you to play in a UPA or an APP event. Yeah. So it's not the APP's restrictions, but there is a restriction there.
Well, does APP go by NRSA?
No.
If
you look on all the NRSA rule,
kind of.
Go look at the, yeah. Go look at the NRSA rule book. Every page has a set of rules, and then at the bottom it says doesn't apply to pickleball.
That's awesome.
Awesome. Yeah, it's ridiculous in my opinion. But
Timber, I have a quick question. Does PPA limit NCPA signups? Or are they allowed to play NCPA even if they're signed?
They are allowed to play NCPA. I think it's very specifically APP.
That's great.
That is my understanding. I might be getting fact checked by somebody on that because I could be wrong on that.
Here we go. Put it on the poll. Is Timber wrong?
And then national spots per team. Yeah, Duper, it's 1 for the big event for the 64. But like I said, they have at least 2, maybe 3 divisions now, and they also have a challenger where anybody can go play. Just if you're trying to win the national championship, there's only one team per school. NCPA, you can get 2, but they both have to earn a bid. And I think last year to fill out the bracket, some teams even got 3 in. Yeah, just because they didn't have enough teams, and so I think we sent a 3rd team. And then APP, same way, you got to have 2.
Rigged.
But they both need a bid, and I wouldn't be surprised if they're asking for 3 teams as well. I don't know that. That's just be my guess this year.
Well, we're going to be there.
Yeah. So
with the bus,
and these are all subject to change. They change very quickly in this world.
That's the hardest part for me, other than the fact that I don't pay that close of attention to this stuff. Is it changes nonstop.
Yeah, well, we're in the beginning. I mean, when football started in 1875 or whatever, they were changing stuff every week, and Army was the power, and Rutgers was the power. Stuff changes, and we're in an infancy of a sport.
Yeah, it's going to be a pretty wild ride here, just this graphic alone shows. They're all doing stuff different. They're all just testing and experimenting and trying to create the best. I do believe that all of them are trying to create the best product, right? In their own version of whatever that is. I do believe doesn't mean that it's good or that they're right, but I believe the intent is positive for everybody for the most part.
I agree.
Yeah.
I've all 3 guys that run these tours, I consider friends. I think they all have the right heart. I don't always agree with them. I rarely agree with them, but I think they're they're in it for the right reasons. None of them are in it to become billionaires. They're just, which that was a problem maybe we had at the pro level, but they're just, I don't want to lose the fun of it. I mean, I think I mean, Jarrod and I have talked about this so much. Winning is so important. I mean, when we won our 2 individual national championships, when we won the first one in mixed doubles, we came back from a big deficit to beat Virginia. I hard cried. I was standing on the side, just not talking to anybody, just tears coming down. It meant so much to me.
I love it.
But I would trade that if you said, oh, you can win another national championship, but we're going to lose the community. I don't want to lose the community.
Yeah.
The fun of it for me are these kids getting together, and Jarrod talked about it. You know, when we play our, you know, IU and Purdue, biggest rivals out there, the community they have is unbelievable. I don't want to lose that. And, I mean, frankly, when we do, I'm out. That's it for me, because that's the fun of it. Watching these kids interact with each other, watching, Jarrod's prom or whatever they had, their homecoming.
Homecoming, yeah.
Yeah. Last year, Purdue, our big rival, had a Christmas party, and they're sending me photos, live streaming me at the Christmas party. You know, I love that. I love that community. That's what makes it special for me personally. And I don't want to lose that just because I don't want to lose the competitiveness either. I still want to go out and kick their asses, but much as we did Jarrod's team 2 weekends ago. But I don't want to. I said that because I know he's going to be watching, but I don't want to lose that part of it. That's what makes it. That's what makes it better than college football. You know, that's the reason I'm not going to be watching.
That's a hot take.
Yeah, wow. I mean, for me, not for everybody. For me, that's what, you know, I give up a whole lot of weekends in a year that I use pretty good, and I got season tickets. I'd much rather be going and hanging out with college kids, you know, in Kansas playing pickleball. I would love to see, and Jacob, that's one of the first things Jacob said to me when I was asking about this is the smaller schools are going to lead the way, because a Drury can't compete with an SEC school in football, but they can compete with them in pickleball.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, thank you guys for watching Pickleball U, the #1 collegiate podcast in the world. For all these rules, next week we got our pick'ems, who we think the best teams are.